Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star original continent based on novel. So let's start. The moment the higher-ups of the human race like Primal Chaos City leader caught wind of the news, they deduced that the intruder on Redbud Island must have been a universe supreme being. That was the first thought that immediately came to their minds. The Bug Clan, Demon Clan, an automaton race already wanted to eliminate Luo Feng, and he was on Redbud Island all this while. When backed into a corner, the three pinnacle races would go for the most reliable method, getting a universe supreme being to do the killing. This was a possibility. Once they arrived at this conclusion, Primal Chaos City leader was quite shaken. Fortunately, Luo Feng's consciousness was always connected to the virtual universe, so Primal Chaos City leader was aware that Luo Feng was alive. That was when he could calm himself down. However, Primal Chaos City leader was also confused. If a universe supreme being was there to kill Luo Feng, then there should not have been any chance of failure unless Luo Feng was fast enough to self-destruct. If killing Luo Feng was not the motive, then what was going on? That universe supreme being was Virtual Real Devil Master, Luo Feng said in a respectful manner. Virtual Real Devil Master. Long Yang Master and Primal Chaos City leader were flustered. Indeed, he came to Redbud Island to kill me. Luo Feng considered for a short while, then decided to tell them the truth. After all, from a normal perspective, he was an up-and-coming great being among the humans. If the bug soldiers, demons, and automaton race were doing all they could to eliminate him, then naturally, the human race would do all they could to protect him. He was a target for assassination by a universe supreme being, so by right, the human race should be doing something to help him. To depend solely on himself for a hard fight should not be necessary. He would first see what the race would do. He was there to kill you. Primal Chaos City leader asked with a trace of fervor in his eyes. If Virtual Real Devil Master made a trip personally, how did you manage to escape? Long Yang Master could not help asking. Primal Chaos City leader said, if Virtual Real Master was there, given his power, the Island Master of Redbud Island would not have been able to stop him. As for your ancestor god from the Ancestral God School, he may not be able to make it in time to stop him. How could you? Teacher, it was Ancestor God who saved my life, Luo Feng informed them. Long Yang Master and Primal Chaos City leader exchanged eye contact. Both of them had reached a conclusion based on the information they received. Being able to make use of the five-color Aurora Lake without being discovered by any of the candidates on Bohinia Island was a feat that only Ancestor God could achieve. What neither could comprehend was how Ancestor God could have made it there in time to intervene. Battles among the great always happened at breakneck speed. If it wasn't for Ancestor God, I'm afraid, Luo Feng shook his head as he recalled. Since the time I gained recognition as a top-tier universe overlord and first arrived at Redbud Island, Ancestor God has been secretly staying in seclusion by my side. For 62 years, he has been my neighbor. Long Yang Master and Primal Chaos City leader were taken aback, shocked that Ancestor God held Luo Feng with such high regard and was willing to be his bodyguard. He was, after all, the greatest authority in the entire Ancestral God School. This was such a beautiful gesture, for the highest being of the top power of the universe to stay by his side for so long, just to protect him in the dark. It was a gesture that would touch anyone's heart. Where are you now? Primal Chaos City leader asked right away. For now, I am temporarily out of Redbud Island, Luo Feng replied. You had better not go back yet. The bug soldiers, automaton race, and demons may have failed this time around, but it is hard to say. They may be back anytime. Primal Chaos City leader ordered solemnly, you may go for a silent retreat for now. As to how we should deal with your problems, I need some time to ponder. Noted. Luo Feng bowed before the two and within a blink of the eye, vanished into thin air. Long Yang Master and Primal Chaos City leader contemplated the problem in silence for some time. Primal Chaos City leader, Long Yang Master said, finally breaking the silence, Redbud Island is no safe ground. The three races are determined to kill Luo Feng. Their desire is so strong that it is frightening. Previously, we were just making conjectures, but we had not expected everything to come true. Especially when the opponent was virtual real Devil Master, the one who was most highly skilled in creating illusions. When used against someone like Luo Feng, who has the talent technique of dividing bodies, his skills would be a most frightening threat. I will inform Huge Axe and gather the Universe Masters to discuss this matter. Primal Chaos City Leader could not contain his anxiety any longer. When all the Universe Masters of the human race were once again gathered together for a discussion, Luo Feng was back in one of the chambers of his palace, continuing to browse through information on the numerous top-tier universe overlords. In my human race, if I count myself, then there will only be 4 top-tier universe overlords, he mumbled to himself. Automaton race has 4 top-tier universe overlords. The Demon Clan has a total of 21 top-tier universe overlords. After all, within the Demon Clan, there are different bloodlines that are ranked on different levels. There are quite a few with the talent technique of dividing bodies, so the number of top-tier universe overlords is quite a lot. The Bug Clan, it has 81 universe overlords, of which only 2 are top-tier universe overlords. However, the moment universe overlords of the Bug Clan make use of the Bug Ocean combat tactic, they are comparable to top-tier universe overlords of other races. Luo Feng nodded to himself. The Bug Clan was a frightening presence. The Bug Mother Queen alone would only have the combat power at the level of a universe overlord. But she would do all she could to create a clan of bug warriors that were of universe knight level. Although she only had a massive godly body, she could distribute consciously to every warrior, allowing every single one of them to possess extremely powerful combat skills. Alliance Clan of the Automaton race, a total of 12 top-tier universe overlords. Alliance Clan of the Demon race, a total of 16 top-tier universe overlords. Alliance Clan of the Bug race, a total of 9 top-tier universe overlords. Who should I choose? Luo Feng eliminated the Bug Clan first. Mother Queen Overlord of the Bug Clan was not a fearsome figure individually, but she could control and manipulate a massive number of bug warriors. Even if he could kill those bug warriors one by one, their queen would still be able to make an unhurried, but speedy escape with her warriors warding her off. The Automaton race. It had a total of 4 top-tier universe overlords, just like the human race previously had a total of 3. The true treasures under their possession were extremely powerful. And they were all positioned in restricted grounds of the Automaton race, just like how Heaven Erosion Palace Master and Star Prison Devil Master of the human race were in restricted grounds within the human domain. Demon Clan it shall be, said Luo Feng. The Demon Clan has a great number of top-tier universe overlords, and they are very scattered. Luo Feng looked at all the information suspended in mid-air, and suddenly looked to one set of information. This is the one. Skyflower Knight. Skyflower Knight was a top-tier universe overlord of the Demon Clan. Within the Sky Wolf Clan, he was only second to Sky Wolf Master. He was the pride of the Sky Wolf Clan, and was the special disciple of Sky Wolf Master. He was also the disciple of the clan's Dream Demon ancestor. Skyflower Knight. Sky Wolf Master. Luo Feng laughed light-heartedly. He recalled that unforgettable time, where he had attempted to make it out of Ice Hell. That almighty Sky Wolf Master had attempted to kill him. Fortunately, Primal Chaos City Leader Teacher had appeared and had come to his rescue. Skyflower Knight, just your luck, said Luo Feng. You are the chosen one. After he had decided on his prey, Skyflower Knight, Luo Feng started searching for various detailed information to devise his plot. He looked into the true treasures, techniques, and related information to understand his own powers, and also, he looked into possible places of residence. While Luo Feng was planning, he received a call from Primal Chaos City Leader. Luo Feng. Come to Primal Chaos Ruins to meet me. Yes, teacher. Luo Feng put everything aside. Since it was a command from his teacher, he wasted no time in making a speedy departure from his god country. He arrived at the headquarters of the Virtual Universe Company, boarded a planet ship, and traveled through the universe tunnel to arrive at Primal Chaos City. Walking within the palace, every guard that he met along the way was very respectful. In the middle of the vast Primal Chaos ruins, Primal Chaos city leader sat cross-legged as he waited for Luo Feng. When Luo Feng was near him, he opened his eyes. "Teacher." Luo Feng gave a slight bow. With a wave, Primal Chaos city leader threw something in the form of a ray of light that flew toward Luo Feng. Luo Feng caught the ray with one hand and looked down to see a triangular crystal in his palm. It was like an amethyst, with beautiful, ancient yet simple floral patterns. The crystal exuded a strangely attractive charm. "This is a senior soul-type true treasure that is more superior than those on the same level," Primal Chaos city leader said. "Its original name is Afterimage." "Afterimage," said Luo Feng. Luo Feng was stunned. Previously, when he traded for the top-tier true treasure blade, Ghost Blade, he had scanned the catalogue of items for trade. With his photographic memory, he would have naturally remembered everything that he had seen on the list after just one look. He clearly recalled that within one of the columns for soul-type true treasures, Afterimage had been worth a total of 620 true treasure points. Senior soul-type true treasures were much more valuable than the ordinary top-tier true treasure weapons. For top-tier true treasure blades, normally 80 true treasure points would suffice. However, senior soul-type true treasures would at least require 200 to 300 true treasure points. Afterimage was a notch higher than them all, reaching a value of 620 true treasure points. Of course, if it were a top-tier soul-type true treasure, its value would be much higher, as it was equivalent to weapons like Thousand Treasure River and Blade River Luo, which would usually require a few thousand true treasure points. "Teacher," Luo Feng raised his head to look at Primal Chaos city leader. Primal Chaos city leader smiled. "This is not from me. It is what our entire race is giving you. Of all our senior soul-type true treasures, this is the best of the best. Afterimage. Its value is worth a few pieces of top-tier true treasure weapons. This is a final decision the race made upon learning that Virtual Real Devil Master is hunting you down. We are giving you Afterimage to guard your soul. Your willpower and consciousness have reached the level of a Universe Master," Primal Chaos city leader continued, "while Afterimage is one of the best senior soul-type true treasures. Even if you were to cross paths with Virtual Real Devil Master again, with Afterimage to guard your soul, at least your soul cannot be permeated and thereby controlled by another soul. You can still calmly self-destruct." Luo Feng nodded. Indeed, if it was a true top-tier universe overlord, and even if his soul was protected by a true treasure, in the face of a universe supreme being, there was still no means of escape. Normally, universe overlords in such a situation would choose to self-destruct. Being able to self-destruct was considered a form of success. But Luo Feng was different. He had the supreme true treasure star tower, and the pinnacle true treasure force armor to protect his body. Luo Feng was still filled with gratitude. "Thank you, teacher," he said. He was indeed short of a soul-type true treasure. He might have star tower, but both his original earthling body and his golden horned beast body required a soul-type true treasure. Upon gaining Afterimage, Luo Feng decided right away. Afterimage shall be used by my original earthling body, who used to have force armor, which in turn has the efficacy of weakening soul attacks. Afterimage and force armor shall work together. This would make them comparable to a top-tier soul-type true treasure. Then, even if I'm being attacked by Virtual Real Devil Master, I will not be afraid of being unable to ward off his attacks. Golden Horned Beast Body has star tower. It has more than enough clout. If I were to venture out in the name of Blood Cloud Palace Master, at least I won't be putting the great name of Blood Cloud Palace Master to shame." Luo Feng secretly made this decision. This treasure's arrival was timely. Afterimage required 620 true treasure points. If Luo Feng were to contribute all of his remaining true treasures, he would still only have been able to obtain a fraction of this amount. "With this true treasure, you can venture out to roam the universe," said Primal Chaos city leader. "After all, it will not be that easy for the other three races like the Bug Soldiers to enlist the help of a universe supreme being again. You need not be overly worried," he continued solemnly. "With the level of power you have now, You should be honing your skills through combat. The birth of universe masters has always been achieved through the tough training from battles. Just working hard in cultivation does not help one in becoming a universe master. You should go now. Understood. Luo Feng bowed and left right away. Luo Feng went back to his god country after leaving the original universe. The waves were churning. Above the boundless remote ocean floated a godly palace enveloped by a dim light. Luo Feng stood on the square in front of the godly palace, with the towering golden horned beast beside him. A 9-story ancient tower showed up on his hand and flew toward golden horned beast. From now on, golden horned beast will use Star Tower, he said. The original Earthling body uses Shawu wings, force armor, and afterimage. Luo Feng nodded. This was indeed the best arrangement, as Golden Horned Beast had a second identity, Blood Cloud Palace Leader, and had the Blood Cloud Pearl to disguise himself. Blood Cloud Palace was able to change someone's aura, along with the shape of true treasures. Although it was difficult to determine its level, it took Sitting Mountain Guest a long time, and lots of energy to make it. Star Tower would shrink during regular fights, but anyone who paid attention could tell the secret if it was enlarged. However, Blood Cloud Tower was able to completely change the look of Star Tower, so nobody would be able to identify it. Teacher Primal Chaos City Leader also said that training alone won't make a universe master, and he also wants me to sharpen myself in combat, as Teacher Sitting Mountain Guest does. Luo Feng nodded. In a pavilion in the virtual universe, the servants of Luo's family prepared delicious meals. Luo Feng and Kwong Ju Knight sat face to face with each other. Kwong Ju Knight felt a bit awkward, and he said, "Blade River, you don't need to prepare the wine or meals if you want my help. Just tell me what you want. I'll do everything." Kwong Ju Knight was not stupid. Luo Feng could already rival Heavenly Erosion Palace Leader, Ancestral Tree Knight, and Star Prison Devil Master. All the universe knights in the race wanted to be friends with him. "Indeed, I need to ask you a favor." Luo Feng nodded. "Just tell me," said Kwong Ju Knight. "I'm just afraid that I might not do a good job." "It's simple," said Luo Feng. "Help me find the coordinates of Skyflower Knight from the demon race." Beings like Heavenly Erosion Palace Leader and Star Prison Devil Master rarely showed up on the open-air bar, and neither did Luo Feng, as he didn't have much time for such things. "Find him." Kwong Ju Knight's eyes gleamed. "Rest assured. I'm the best at gathering information." Luo Feng smiled and nodded. Usually, great beings would block their conversations if they were talking about important issues, which was why it was difficult to gather information. And this was when connections came in handy. Kwong Ju Knight was known for his ability to gather information, as he had a tremendous number of friends. Skyflower Knight should be on the original stars. Kwong Ju Knight smiled. Actually, most of the top-tier universe overlords of the demon race are adventuring the original stars. I heard that Skyflower Knight showed up on original star number 02002 more than 1,000 years ago. However, you should know that top-tier universe overlords usually act alone, and he left very quickly. I didn't collect any information on him after that. I guess he's on one of the original stars. Luo Feng nodded. "Thank you so much." "Not at all. Just come and find me whenever you need more information." Kwong Ju Knight knew that the more favors he did for Luo Feng, the closer they would be. All the universe knights knew that Ganwu Universe Country Master's debts were automatically paid off, because he was the teacher of Luo Feng's son. "I'll go collect other information." Kwong Ju Knight smiled. Luo Feng nodded, and Kwong Ju Knight disappeared. Luo Feng knew that it was difficult to track down a supreme being. If he kept hiding, like Luo Feng hid from the demon race, the automaton race, and the bug race, it would take forever to find him. Fortunately, Skyflower Knight wasn't hiding deliberately. Instead, he was still adventuring the original stars. It might take a while to find him, but it would take that long. "I'll keep training on Redbud Island," said Luo Feng. He was calm and confident, and his original Earthling body went back to Redbud Island and started to train himself. He went to the land of inheritance after more than 2 months. On Redbud Island. Look. It's Luo Feng. Luo Feng's going to land of inheritance again. The candidates immediately took notes and reported them back to their races. 3 beings arrived at a starry sky and twisted the space around it as if they were in another dimension: a giant, oval-shaped phantom, a breathtaking being, and a gigantic, silver snake head surrounded by countless snake-like shadows. What happened, automaton? The breathtaking being grunted. Didn't you ask Virtual Real Devil Master to kill him? The silver snake had also said in anger. After Virtual Real Devil Master failed to kill Luo Feng in the center of the Ancestral God School, he had never contacted Father God of the automaton race. Father God was patient enough as a Universe Supreme Master, and he didn't push him. Instead, he tried to figure out what information the human race had. In the past 2 months, Luo Feng had shown up in Primal Chaos City and entered City Leader Palace, and almost no one knew it. Although there were spies of the automaton race in Primal Chaos City, nobody had noticed that Luo Feng had entered the City Leader Palace and left. No one had been certain of his fate until this time. When Luo Feng showed up on Redbud Island, that was when all the 3 pinnacle races knew that Luo Feng was still alive. I asked Virtual Real Devil Master to kill him, the Phantom said. You all know Virtual Real Devil Master. He'll be upset if I keep pushing him. I just went to ask him what happened after learning that Luo Feng was still alive. What happened? Asked the silver snake head. The breathtaking being also stared at the black oval. The 4 pinnacle races had been fighting each other for an eternity, and the 3 other races had formed a temporary alliance because of their common enemy, Luo Feng. The relationship among them was sour. Virtual Real Devil Master said he immediately started the killing attempt after arriving at Redbud Island, the Phantom said, but he didn't expect Doubleface Ancestral God to be living beside Luo Feng and secretly protecting him. The Ancestral God counterattacked the second he attacked. Ancestral God. Doubleface Ancestral God. Both the silver snake head and the breathtaking being were shocked. Ancestral God's been protecting him secretly. The breathtaking being's voice was mesmerizing. How is that possible? That was what happened, said the black oval. We can ask him to do it again, said the silver head. He's received our gift, and he needs to finish it. Besides, do you really think Doubleface Ancestral God will protect that Luo Feng again? Ask Virtual Real Devil Master to do that again. He'll definitely succeed. Dream Tea, the Black Phantom yelled. All the true treasures we contributed combined are only worth a pinnacle true treasure weapon. Who do you think Virtual Real Devil Master is? He's the most terrifying being even in the universe ocean. Do you really think he'll do it again? It'll be provoking the Ancestral God School if he does it twice. Do you really think one pinnacle true treasure can compel him to become an enemy of the Ancestral God School? Unfortunately, he failed, said the silver head. Virtual Real Devil Master said he had tried his best, said the Black Phantom, but he was still suppressed by the universe. What he's done is worthy of a pinnacle true treasure. Both the breathtaking being and the silver snake head went silent. Virtual Real Devil Master was indeed an exceptional being. He was a lone universe supreme master, and no powers dared to mess with him. Besides, he had a supreme true treasure to protect him. He and that smiley, conniving sitting mountain guest were 2 beings who were hated by all the powers in the universe, and none of the powers could do anything to them. Then what should we do? Said the breathtaking being. Luo Feng showed up on Redbud Island again, said the silver snake head. If we hire another universe supreme master, but Ancestral God is secretly protecting him, we'll be squandering true treasures. Both the breathtaking being and silver snake head had responsibilities to their races, and they were unwilling to waste their true treasures. The Black Phantom said, just wait and see. Doubleface Ancestral God won't be able to protect him forever. We can invite a universe supreme master later. We need to wait. Who should we ask next time? I'll suggest Sitting Mountain Guest. He's incomparably cunning and proficient in soul attacks. I think he'll do a better job than Virtual Real Devil Master. The conditions of Sitting Mountain Guest might be more demanding. We have to try. Just wait. Empress, can you go talk to Sitting Mountain Guest? You're the closest to him. After a short while, they reached a consensus, and all the three beings disappeared. The sky went back to being peaceful. On Redbud Island. It had been a year since Virtual Real Devil Master came to kill Luo Feng, and Luo Feng had finished comprehending the 5th level of the Beast God Path. He had started the 6th level, and he found it extremely intricate and broad. However, after finishing the 5th level, Luo Feng had a more solid foundation, which made it easier for him to create techniques. He easily created a pinnacle technique of Universe Masters named Golden River. An email interrupted Luo Feng's training on Bohinia Island, Blade River. Blade River. I've found where Skyflower Knight is. In the virtual universe, Thunder Island, Luo Feng sat in the study of his palace. A large screen that was suspended in mid-air listed detailed information about the latest updates on Skyflower Knight's movements and the coordinates of his current whereabouts. Original star number 02933. Luo Feng revealed a trace of a smile. Skyflower Knight seems to be having quite a few rewarding years recently. Just based on what great beings of various races have heard, he obtained a senior true treasure and close to 10 ordinary true treasures. Skyflower Knight, if you have taken these true treasures back to where your demon clan is, then count yourself lucky. If not, all of these shall be mine. His consciousness may have been connected to the virtual universe, but the moment Luo Feng's original earthling body caught wind of the news, he left Redbud Island immediately. He used God Country transportation, and returned to his God Country. This was because he needed to bring his golden horned beast body with him. This time around, we are going to the original star. Original star, where even Universe Masters and Universe Supreme beings are unable to teleport, and within it. Even if I were to be discovered, or the other races are after my life, I will still have to fly slowly. Luo Feng nodded to himself. At other places, the moment his whereabouts were discovered, his enemies might appear very soon, but on the original star, it would be difficult for them to reach him that quickly. But that is still an original star. This is a place where billions of great beings gather. I must stay vigilant. This concerns my battle to fame. Luo Feng would be giving his all. With Golden Horned Beast and Mosha bodies, he started making his way to the original star. First, Luo Feng entered original star number 03921. In the star, he flew alone for about half a day, then reached the whirlpool leading to original star number 02933. After deliberation, he discovered that this was the fastest way of arriving at this original star. In the sky above the vast ocean of original star number 02933 was a gigantic whirlpool tunnel, and a burly, flaming figure flew through it at that moment. He was around 30 feet tall and black all over, and every inch of his godly body was spurting flames periodically. I have reached the original star. Luo Feng looked at his flaming body and laughed. He was in the form of his Mosha body, as he rushed his way here, and had allowed his Mosha body to display its talent technique of replication, where it replicated a certain universe overlord out of the various special life forms under Blood Cloud Palace's command. The other universe overlords had their merits too, but a universe overlord sporting just one head with a pair of hands and legs was hard to come by. Luo Feng was still used to human form. Behind him, he carried a long battle sword that was around 18 feet long. This true treasure sword was none other than Bo He. With his blade behind him, the burly, flaming body swept across space at high speed, flew across the ocean, and arrived at an area that consisted of more lands. Then he flew high in the skies enveloping a vast swamp area. He continued flying for around a day, when he started to approach a location with coordinates provided by Kwangju Knight. It should be here. Although he had been in flight for a whole day, Luo Feng was still unsettled at heart. Luo Feng started to slow down while observing his surroundings. Kwangju Knight had provided him with the coordinates of Skyflower Knight's whereabouts discovered by a great being from the Hong Alliance, but that had been discovered 3 days ago. After 3 days, there were bound to be changes. He watched carefully along the way. After half an hour, Luo Feng landed in a small lake within the swamp. The moment his feet touched the water's surface, the flames encircling his ankles created hissing, kai sounds as the flames were distinguished and smoke started to rise from the lake water. Nothing. He's not here. Luo Feng frowned. I have scoured the entire area of this domain, but still, I do not see Skyflower Knight. Luo Feng soared high into the sky, and into the extreme limits of space. Then he regained flying at a high speed, as he started conducting another round of search on a much larger scale. After all, it had only been 3 days since the great being from the Hong Alliance had spotted Skyflower Knight. In those 3 days, Skyflower Knight would not have time to leave this original star. He had to still be in the area. Luo Feng expanded his area of search in a circular manner. When he was half an hour into his search, he suddenly detected a unique aura approaching and spreading out in all directions. This threw Luo Feng, who was preoccupied with his search, off guard in surprise. He had been roaming and wandering about the original stars, so he was experienced enough to be able to tell that this was the aura of an emerging treasure. What a strong aura, said Luo Feng. Very strong. It must be a true treasure, and possibly a senior true treasure. To think I came here in search for Skyflower Knight, and have coincidentally been met with the birth of a true treasure. Luo Feng laughed. Then his eyes lit up. That's right, discovering the birth of a true treasure. If I have sensed it, then Skyflower Knight will discover it too, if he is in the vicinity. Then he will be rushing over as fast as he can. Ha ha ha. Luo Feng made an arc in the sky as he changed course to head off toward where the source of aura was detected, flying at breakneck speed. As the aura started to spread, those who were nearer to where the birth had taken place would naturally discover it first. It's a true treasure. It must be the birth of a senior true treasure. Quick! Let's hurry over. Such a strong true treasure aura. Quick! As fast as we can. We will earn a fortune if we can get it. Let's hope we are the first to make it there. Those who were slightly further away were late to discover it. Yet regardless of earlier or later, countless teams of knights from top powers of the universe, as well as lone wanderers such as universe overlords and top-tier universe overlords, all rushed over to the source of the aura as fast as they could. Ha ha. My luck is good. I managed to chance upon the birth of a senior true treasure. This aura is definitely one of a senior true treasure. Exuding an overbearing bloody aura, this great being grinned. He was of a race that sported a huge, blood-red eye vertically in the middle of his face, was covered with snow-white hair, and walked with a crooked back. He was none other than Skyflower Knight. A sky wolf who once managed to soul transfer with a special life form. Previously, to trade for true treasure White Needle, I contributed almost all of my other true treasures to the race, he said. How poor I am. Now that a senior true treasure has emerged. Hum. The more powerful the true treasure, the slower its birth will be. By the time I rush over, I think it may not have fully emerged. This treasure is mine. Skyflower Knight gave a shrill laugh. At the same time, he transformed into light and dashed toward the source of the aura. Teams, lone wanderers, or small groups of 3s and 5s all rushed over to the source of the aura. A crazy surge of energy spread outward in all directions in a wave. Luo Feng had not reached the destination, but could already feel the strong energy wave spreading. Seems like the battle has already begun for this true treasure, thought Luo Feng. At this moment, remote ocean's consciousness, which was constantly connected to the virtual universe, received a message Kwang Ju Knight had just sent over. Blade River. Original star number 02933, which was the location of the coordinates I have previously provided you with. There is fighting going on at a location not far from that place. There are powerfully strong waves. Skyflower Knight is over there right now and is fighting a battle. He is really there. Luo Feng could not contain his delight and continued heading towards the source of the aura. At a far distance away, there was a vast and spacious forest, and the battle was going on in that very forest. One look at the groups of knights from various races suspended in midair, and Luo Feng easily counted over 20. He flew high up into the sky of the vast, spacious forest and looked down from where he was. There were 3 figures below him. One was a figure covered in snow-white hair who looked exceptionally violent. His hands were holding 2 heavenly hammers, and with a formidable stance, he charged toward the other 2 great beings without inhibitions. The other 2 knights, with equally big godly bodies, were also holding their true treasures and retaliating. Luo Feng looked down and nodded his head. Demon Clan, Skyflower Knight, 9 Territory Alliance, Jia Wei Horde Leader and 1000 Shadow Knight. No wonder no one is willing to give in. It turns out there are 2 Universe Overlords. Skyflower Knight may have been strong, but he was only strong in terms of his life gene level, which was as high as around 2,000 times. Jia Wei Horde Leader and 1000 Island Knight's life gene levels were both 100 times. Their powers were obviously inferior by 1 level. However, they both had relatively large godly bodies, so the only disadvantage they had was that 1 level of difference. Jia Wei Horde Leader was a fighter while 1000 Shadow Knight was a spirit reader. With both working hand in hand, they definitely made a worthy fight. They were not keen on defeating Skyflower Knight. They only wanted to buy some time, so that when the true treasure was fully emerged, they would be the first to snatch it away. Now that the senior true treasure, a blue-colored true treasure heavenly hammer, was already halfway out. The handle of the hammer was already fully exposed. The hammer's head was gradually emerging too. 1 top-tier Universe Overlord and 2 Universe Overlords. The true treasure will definitely be taken by either one of them. Just my luck. If there was only 1 Universe Overlord, I would still take the gamble. But 3 of them, one of whom is 1 top-tier Universe Overlord. High up in the sky, some other knights of different races were shaking their heads helplessly, not daring to intervene. Under Skyflower Knight's attacks, Jia Wei Horde Leader and 1000 Shadow Knight could still put up a tough fight. As for them, mere Universe Knights, trying to fight him was rushing to their doom. Luo Feng was suspended high up in the air, looking down in silence. Who is that? Someone said. Not someone I know of, but his aura is pretty strong. And he is a lone wanderer, so it's highly possible that he is a Universe Overlord. Seems like this Universe Overlord is waiting for an opportunity. All the knights of different races started discussing among themselves. They were aware that from this level of fighting for the treasure, there would be no chance for them, mere knights, to intervene at all. Jia Wei Horde Leader and 1000 Shadow Knight, both of you want to snatch my treasure away. Skyflower Knight roared. The blood-red vertical, I was incomparably fearsome and insane. The true treasure that emerged this time is a Heavenly Hammer true treasure. Heavenly Hammer is the weapon I wield, so this should belong to me. With the 2 of you trying to back me into a corner, do not blame me for not showing mercy. What bullsh***. Both of us may not be your match, but if you think you can kill us easily, dream on. Should we both fear you? Jia Wei Horde Leader and 1000 Shadow Knight were extremely crazy. Jia Wei Horde Leader never failed to put up tough resistance, while 1000 Island Knight would use his spiritual force to transform 1000 phantoms that could envelop all of heaven and earth, thus pestering Skyflower Knight into a crazy frenzy. Skyflower Knight could only use his huge hammer to blast away their attacks. Yet Jia Wei Horde Leader and 1000 Shadow Knight were not in a hurry at all. They were both waiting for an opportunity, waiting for the moment the true treasure was fully emerged, when they would snatch it away immediately. Time passed by. The 3 were in a continual state of crossfire, while the other knights high above watched without daring to intervene. Luo Feng, too, watched silently. Almost. The true treasure will soon be born. The eyes of Jia Wei Horde Leader and 1000 Shadow Knight lit up. 1000 Island, our last chance. All depends on you. Leave it to me. 1000 Shadow Knight said, his eyes filled with insanity. When it was time to fight, he just had to fight like crazy. Treasures had to be fought for. Wanting this for yourselves is wishful thinking. Skyflower Knight roared. He made his way toward the treasure. He did not want to be so far away from it, but Jarwei Horde Leader and Thousand Shadow Knight were attacking aggressively. Their might was overwhelming. Every attack would end up with both sides retreating violently. And while they fought, Luo Feng had been gradually descending toward them. The treasure is born. It's born. In a split second, every knight in the air was electrified with excitement. Skyflower Knight, Jarwei Horde Leader, and Thousand Shadow Knight all reacted as one. At the same time, they noticed a figure already swooping down from midair. This video will end here.